All right, so we got Sneakerheads once again calling out StockX as far as their latest update, claiming that it's a scam. So we're gonna get into what that update exactly is. This is gonna be a great opportunity for you guys to jump in the comments, drop your feedback, and then stay tuned till the end, as I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts. But as far as StockX, one of sneakers' biggest reselling platforms, you can put them up there right alongside eBay and GOAT as some of the most popular reselling apps, right? But when compared to their competitors, it feels like StockX reputation kind of is a lot worse, right? Accused of selling fakes, which I'm not gonna sit here and act like StockX has never sold a fake, but anytime you're in the business of authenticating a product, of course, sometimes fakes are gonna get through, but I feel like your chances of grabbing a fake off StockX would be just as good as getting a fake off GOAT or eBay. Like, nobody's perfect, right? And as far as that whole big Nike lawsuit, I feel like that definitely did some lasting damage, of course, to StockX reputation, which it seems like they're trying to repair with some big name hires. As recently StockX, they brought in Chanel and Lululemon's executive to lead its anti-counterfeiting effort. So that's cool and everything, on top of hiring her, right? They also brought in a big figure here in the sneaker community, Brendan Dunn, which a lot of you guys know him from his time over at Complex. They're bringing him in to help lead customer community engagement, which apparently he's going to be responsible for deepening StockX relationship across the sneaker, streetwear, collectibles community, which we've seen him popping up at different sneaker events, Complex Con, Sneaker Con, you know, shaking hands with the people, doing all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. But as far as his image, like, how old is this picture? Because last time I seen Brendan Dunn, he wasn't looking nothing like this. That boy looked like he was pushing like 50, like about to hit the senior citizen home or something like that. So hopefully StockX, you know, his new job isn't bringing on too much stress. But as far as StockX's latest update, it looks like they are now introducing StockX auctions, which actually just went live a few days ago, which what differs StockX, of course, what was kind of groundbreaking when they came into the scene when compared to eBay, which has, like, you know, individual auctions listed. StockX, what they did was they brought everything, combined all the listings together, which brought in a StockX market value price, which is actually used by a lot of resellers to kind of determine market value when you talk about a sneaker's price via the secondary market. So let's go ahead and take a look at these live auctions, which I mentioned did go live previously. Currently, at the time of this recording, auctions will be ending in roughly around 2 more days, right? So as far as the products, these are actually going to be a whole bunch of different Grail sneakers. So we're going to run through some of the pairs which they have available. Some pretty cool shoes, right? Which is also a little walk down memory lane as well. Like, you got shoes like these Brooklyn off-white Air Force Ones. Remember a couple of years back when Virgil had everybody rocking these ugly, bright lime green Boston Celtics looking colors? Yeah, that's those joints right there. We also got classics like the Ferris Bueller Nike Dunk Highs. Remember, it was dropped back in the day when Dunk Highs were some of the most popular shoes amongst sneakerheads before the whole Panda Dunk epidemic took over. We also got the New Balance J-Hounds, which you got a size 11 here. The green joints, which those dropped, what was that, back in like 2000 or something like that. Takashi Murakami Louis Vuitton, which I never knew he dropped a pair of flat sandals like that. But then again, with so many collaborations dropping nowadays, it's kind of difficult to keep up, right? This sneaker coming in with the bid at under $1,000. My guess would be that these joints are probably going for like under the retail price. Same thing with these Travis Dior joints, which released a few years back. This is a shoe which my guess they probably retail for like over $1,000. But as far as the value via the secondary market, it seems like these sneakers with these high retail prices never really are able to like maintain, you know, as far as their value via auctions, right? So then we got the Mars Yard 2.0s, which I ain't gonna lie, those gotta be a steal, because if I'm not mistaken, I think pairs of these were selling for like upwards of like $10,000, which is absolutely insane for a sneaker like that. But the only problem is with these rare shoes like that, they're not gonna be moving in volume. Say you list a pair of Tom Sachs with a crazy high resale price, it might take you years, you know what I'm saying, to find a seller. We also got these Miu Miu New Balance 530s, which I touched on these previously. Footwear News actually named these as the hottest collaboration of 2025. And the retail on them joints was like $1,200 or something like that. So I'm guessing that these shoes are probably, by the time this auction's over, will probably be selling for under the retail value. We also got the Chunky Dunks, which one of those dropped, what was it, like 2020? Those had the sneaker game in the chokehold. That's when Dunk Lows were like some of those popular sneakers, you know, in the market. We also got the Air Yeezy 2s. You guys know those, the Solar Red joints, a size 8, which is interesting because these sneakers were selling for like, what, maybe like 20 bands at one point. But Of course, this is a shoe which has kind of gone down a little bit in value, but I feel like will always be a sneaker grail. We got the Fragment Jordan 1s. Of course, we got the new Travs getting ready to drop coming up soon. We also got an OG right here, the Jordan 11 Columbia, which this is actually the official 1996 pair. So that's kind of rare to see a shoe like that, which kind of crazy that these joints aren't like all the way yellowed up by now. We got the Kobe Grinch joints, Nike Air Force One Low, RTF KT clone. I ain't gonna lie, them joints look like a bootleg or something like that. Bro, if you buy those, you might as well just go hit like Canal Street and get you like a Fugazi pair or something like that. You got the Verdi Dunk Lows, the Girls Don't Cry joints from a few years back. Now this one you don't see every day, right? The Dunk High MF Doom joints, which I want to say those dropped, what was that, like 07? Like years back, bro. I remember this is like when people were really like going crazy for Dunk High. So that one is a cult classic, bro. Like still to this day, the red laces go crazy on them joints right there. We also got some PEs in here. We got the retro Michigan joints, classics like the Off-White Presto, some sneakers which feature special packaging like the Friends and Family, Futura Off-White Nike Dunks. We got the Louis Vuitton Tims, which those go crazy right there. And then the Back to the Future Nike Air Mag, which the current bid $30,000 with 2 days left. Like that's absolutely insane, right? But as far as the sneaker community, they're saying that this latest update from StockX is a scam, and that would happen to be due to the fact that, let's just say, for example, we go back to these Off-White joints, right? Now, StockX is actually canceling out some of the fake bids, but just for example, this shoe right here, a size 12, currently with 2 days left, we're at $2,100, where if you go over to StockX right now, for that very same size 12, you can buy these joints right now for under $1,700. Of course, you're gonna add in fees and all that, which StockX be killing us on fees and all that, but for someone to be placing a bid for over the asking price right now, like what the hell is going on right now? Plus, when you talk about these shoes, like let's just say, for example, this sneaker right here, what's even crazier about these joints right here is that they also have a buyer's premium, right? Which, as far as the premium, the buyer's premium is a fee applied to the winning bid based on 20% of the final bid price of the purchase. So on top of this $2,100 that you guys are going to be spending for these joints, you're also going to have to add in an additional 20%, which is absolutely insane right here. So these bids, which they all start at $1, right? It sounds great, but the fact that they throw in that extra 20% to me makes this stupid, right? I think the way I look at it, right? Remember how I mentioned a lot of these shoes, they're so expensive that if you were actually list this shoe at market value, it would take you years to be able to find a buyer. So with StockX, marketing these auctions starting at $1, it's a way for some of these sneakers which have been just sitting on the site collecting dust that nobody's moving, to get a little push, create a little urgency, make you guys want to bid the high for some of these shoes, which otherwise would have literally just been sitting around. Like, when's the last time somebody bought a pair of these Air Mags, right? Let's go ahead and check it out, right? Look, $30,000. Last time somebody probably bought these was like 2020 or something like that. Ain't nobody trying to buy these joints right here. So when you look at it, I think it's pretty smart from StockX, right? It's a way to push sales. And as far as how they pick these actual sneakers, right? What StockX is doing is they actually separate, their top sellers, which the people that move the most units via their website, they go ahead and set them boys up with a rep, right? They have somebody directly from the company working with them, and that's how they're able to, determine which grails are gonna actually make this live auction right here. So what do y'all think about it, man? StockX, some people are saying it's a scam. I feel like it's genius. It's really just a way for StockX to try to boost engagement, boost some of these sales, and it seems to be working right here because we got people out here dropping 33 bands on a pair of Nike Air Mags, right? Which is absolutely crazy. Like, low key, if you wanted a sneaker like that so bad, like, you might as well just go ahead and get you a pair of fakes or something like that because that's absolutely crazy, right? So let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. Comment down below, JATV. What do you guys think about this StockX update, right? Plus with the accusations that StockX is out here selling fake shoes. Can you imagine bidding the high for a pair of shoes like these and then only to get caught up with a pair of fakes. I'm just saying, right? Absolutely crazy. So let me know what you guys think about it. Are you guys participating in these auctions? And moving forward, do you think StockX is gonna just make this a regular thing? Looks like StockX low-key might be the new eBay, right? So drop your feedback down below. I'll catch you guys later for the latest updates. JATV, salute.